Hey y'all, so what's up and welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute since I have sat here and filmed. I tried to film some videos the other day and my camera literally ate them. Like, there was no retrieving the files back. There was 2 videos on there. Needless to say, I was a little upset about it, but it's okay. We're doing it now. So that just gave me a little bit more information on the palette that I'm wanting to use for this video anyways. So today we're going to be using the Melisa Michelle palette with Ulta. I absolutely love Melisa Michelle. I think she is a heck of a gal. Obviously I don't know her personally, but just through the internet, what I have learned about her, I think she's an awesome person and I cannot wait to play around with this palette. Obviously I already have used it a couple of times because of trying to film and failing, but nonetheless that just gives me another chance to play. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. So in this palette there is 9 eyeshadows, there's a highlight and a blush, and then there's a liquid lipstick, and this liquid lipstick is a gorgeous nude shade. The name of it is Scandy, so we're definitely going to be using that today. But these are the shadows, and there are I think 5 matte shadows. Yeah, there's 5 matte shadows. No. Yes. There's 5 matte shadows and 4 shimmery. And then the blush right here, I actually thought this was a bronzer, to be honest with you. But I learned, so I went ahead and did all that. And then there is a highlight. So I have already got my entire face on. If it looks a little bit different than usual, I actually used some different products today. For starters, the primer that I have on is the e.l.f. Poreless Primer. I didn't know about this primer for some reason. This whole time I've been using the mineralized one, which I still love and will continue to use. But me and my sister was at Walmart the other day and seen this one and I was like, what the heck? I thought all this time that that one was the poreless one, so I went ahead and picked this up, and I've used it a few times now and I'm liking it. It definitely feels a lot heavier than the mineralized one, I will say that, but it's nice and I can tell that it does work. For foundation, I actually have on the Revlon Photo Ready foundation. I'm really enjoying it. I can only wear this whenever I have a self-tan going on because it's a couple shades too dark, but I love the coverage of it. I need to pick it up in a couple other shades just so that I can wear it more often, but it just makes me appreciate it that much more when I can wear it, I guess. And then what else? Oh, for contour, I don't know if it's super harsh on camera. It was a little harsh to start with, but I think I blended it out okay. I'll know as soon as I play this back. I'll know how I did. But I used the Maybelline Fit Me foundation stick. I think's what this is, right? Yes, this is a anti-shine core foundation stick. And I just used one they had at the flea market and it's like way too dark for me, so I just used it to kind of contour and bronze up the face. And I actually really like the way that it applied, and I'll probably continue to do this. And if you guys like it and want to see how I did it, then let me know in the comments below and I'll be sure to get that up for you. Alright, I think that's everything different about my face, so we can go ahead and start on this shadow. Now, I've used a couple of Ulta shadows in the past and I personally just prefer not to use an eyeshadow base. For the most part, I don't think that you need one, and the times that I've played with these shadows, I don't feel like I needed one, so we're not going to use one today either. I just used some concealer on my eyes and set it with a powder. But if you feel more comfortable using a primer, then you do you. So I'm just going to pick up a semi-clean. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you in a little. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Alright, I'm just going to pick up a semi-clean blending brush. This one is from Wet n Wild, and if you guys have not picked any of these up, go to Dollar Tree and pick some of these up. These are the best blending brushes that I have. That's not saying a whole lot because all of my stuff is cheapo knockoff. That's just how I roll. But I love these, and for $1, I think I've got like 12 of these. I use them constantly. But I'm going to pick up the shade Rosemary and a little bit of Wheezy and mix those together and use those as my transition shade. I'm also going to go ahead and work this into the outer part of my eye as well, and I would say that the fallout on these shadows is actually pretty minimal compared to other shadows that I have used. I don't think that it's bad at all. And they're very pigmented, but they do, for me, require some building up, which I appreciate. It could just be this brush. I mean, if you had, you know, more expensive brushes or higher quality brushes, that could play a factor in how much you have to build it up. But I personally like that I have to build it up. That way I know I'm not going to get way too much product at once and make a total mess. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of Wheezy and go around the brow bone and up over the top of Rosemary so that I can be sure it's all blended out well. Alright, now on a bit more of a dense brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Bing Bing. It's just this really nice brick red shade, and I'm going to put this in the lower part of the crease and also on the outer corner. Now I'm just going to take that same blending brush and go over the edges to make sure that nothing is looking harsh and make sure everything is blended out. I'm going to use that same brush and take a little bit of Harley, which is the dark brown in the palette, and I'm going to also pack that on the outer corner as well. But I'm not going to take it into the crease. This is a really nice shadow as well, but if you were to ask me, I think it's the least pigmented shadow out of all of them, which again is not necessarily a bad thing because you just have to keep building it up to get your color payoff, and I personally like that. I'm going to go ahead and blend that out again, and while I'm blending I'm going to pick up a little bit of Bing Bing on that fluffy brush and just work it back into the crease. Now just because I already have it out, I'm going to take that same brush that I used for Harley and I'm going to start working on the lower lash line. So I'm going to pick up the shade Rosemary and start smudging it on the lower lash line. And if all the other colors are like mixed in there, it just makes it that much better because we're going to be mixing them all down here anyway. I'm going to take the same brush and do the same with the shade Rosemary. And I love this color. I think it's my favorite color in the palette. It just screams fall. Alright, then I'm going to pick up a little smudger brush and I'm going to pick up the shade Alana. And I'm going to work that on the lower lash line as close to the lashes as I can possibly get it. Alright, and then that's looking crazy harsh, so I'm going to pick up that brush that had the red shade on it and just use it to blend that out. Alright guys, we're almost done with the eyes, but I wanted to use as many shades as I possibly could so you could see what this palette looks like. Now I'm going to take the shade Cades, which is this gorgeous coppery bronze shimmer, and I'm going to pack that onto the lid. You could definitely, I feel, intensify this with an eyeshadow base, but I don't really want it to be super intense. I just want it to be a little hint of something. And this shadow is amazing. It is actually quite creamy. It almost looks like it's wet in the pan when it's going on your brush. It's really nice. And then on that same brush, I'm going to take the shade Alana and just put it right here where this dark meets the light and blend it in. Alright, and then I'm going to take the shade Lola and I'm going to put this on the brow bone and the inner corner. I'm not really feeling any liner today, so we're just going to go ahead with some mascara, and I'm going to use the Ulta Beauty Maximum Lashes Defining and Lengthening Mascara. Alright, and that's it for the eyes, so we're going to move on to the rest of the face. To do that, I'm going to take the shade Mahal, and I'm going to use the Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush. I know it's for foundation, but really, who does what they're supposed to with their makeup brushes? I mean, come on. But I'm just going to dip right into that. Make sure to kind of tap it off a little bit, and then put this right on the apples of my cheeks, and sweep it upwards. And we're already pretty bronzy looking, so we're gonna go pretty light with this. And then for the highlight, I'm just gonna drag my brush across all 3 shades and put it on my cheekbones and, you know, all the highlighting places. For lips, I'm going to use the Ulta Beauty lip liner in the shade Flesh. And then over the top of that, we're going to use Scandy from Ulta as well. This is the one from the Melisa Michelle collection. And if you were wondering, it smells delicious. The final step to this look is going to be to set it in place with some setting spray, and I'm going to use the Catrice Prime and Fine Multi-Talent Fixing Spray, and just use a couple sprays because I've already set my face like twice now. So we got lots of this on there, but this is also really good for just freshening up your skin, so I definitely do not mind spraying it a couple more times. And then this is the finished look, you guys. I really hope that you love this one. I am in love with this palette right here. I think it's absolutely amazing. Definitely worth the $20. It's even under $20. It's definitely worth the money that you pay for it. It's going to be a staple for the fall. I cannot wait until fall to play with some more of these colors. Like, I'm telling you, they're all gorgeous. They're all just absolutely gorgeous shades. You go, girl. You really outdid yourself with this palette. Congratulations on it. And yeah, that's all for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and always be you. I'll catch you in the next one.